This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. With me is Ben Davison on this Sunday afternoon. Ben, you're a man who watches a lot of fights, a lot of modern boxing you watch as well. That has got to be up there with one of the best we've seen, surely, Fury Wilder 3.
Yeah, brilliant fight. The whole trilogy's been brilliant, you know. And I put a tweet up earlier just saying that I hope, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually I'm sure there'll be mutual respect and they can look back on what they've helped each other, how they've helped each other define each other's legacies in that.
Well, yeah, obviously we've seen Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield become friends over the years. So hopefully that is the case one day. We'll come on to that in a second. But let's talk about the first round, which is what we were discussing yesterday and how was Wilder going to approach the fight. He looked sharp in that first round, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked sharp. He looked like he was forcing things. It was always very clear from the onset that he wasn't going to be able to maintain that pace. Not the most discreet. I mean, he didn't just jump in with a 1-2, but he was trying to set it up off a jab to the body, but not the most discreet with it. I don't think that the added weight had done him any favours. However, you know, what he showed there is... It's funny because out of a loss, it's a career-defining fight, or performance, should I say, from Deontay Wilder, because you can never, ever, ever take away what he's made of, and his character. And he always said that he's willing to go out on his shield, and that's what he done. And in a sport like this, you know, you can only respect that, and that's exactly what he did. He stood by his word, and you can never ask for anything more. So full respect.
Yeah, I know you said he looked like he was forcing things early on, but that was the worry. You knew for 3 or 4 rounds he probably could keep that pace up, and obviously in the 4th round it nearly paid off for him. That in them first 3 or 4 rounds, you got to survive them because he was really dangerous in them opening early rounds. Yeah,
he was, and he managed to back Tyson up. I just think that before, like when he was a bit lighter in his best performances, he was a little bit lighter, and even when he, you know, any power athlete, they exert a lot of energy to produce that power. And I think when he was a little bit lighter, he could almost recharge his batteries a little bit quicker and a little bit more efficiently, and was obviously a bit quicker off the mark, therefore a little bit more dangerous. But like you say, you know, he was always dangerous throughout, as he showed. It was a fantastic fight.
Would you say, compared to the first fight, that his output, I'm talking about Wilder here, was roughly the same?
Yeah, we did actually have a little look at the stats, didn't we, earlier, but can't remember. However, carrying how much? It was almost 30 pounds heavier, wasn't he, last night? You know, it's like putting on a 20-kilo weight vest and near on, just under. And training with that on, of course, you know, it's going to take its toll. However, he felt that he needed that to be able to match Tyson on the inside. But realistically, you know, it's not the strongest man in the clinch. It's the better wrestler, the better man in the clinch with a better technique and a better know-how. So, but look, it's done with now. I'm pleased that it's finally put to bed. And as I said before, you can't take nothing away from Deontay Wilder. If anything, his stock only rose last night. So yeah, full respect. Whatever decisions he made, I think it was right, I think it was wrong. Gloves, to this, to that, whatever. You know, what matters is his performance and the character that he showed and the way he's willing to go out on his shield. Because at the end of the day, they're warriors, and that's certainly what it was last night.
Of course, he has taken a lot of damage in these last 2 fights with Tyson Fury. But if he can recover from that and he is okay, how much of a force can Wilder still be against the likes of Ruiz, Joshua, Usyk, etc.?
I don't know. You know, I think that a lot was taken out of Deontay Wilder in that first fight when Tyson got up in the 12th round. And then for the performance and the you know, beating that he took in the second fight, and then, you know, the way he went out on his shield last night, which that was a once in a generation heavyweight trilogy. And if you ever, people's going to talk bad of Malik Scott because Mark Breeden threw it down and Malik didn't. But look, if there's ever a time to go out on your shield and to give everything that you've got and be given every single opportunity, that was it. That was it. He didn't want no excuses. He wanted it to be left to may the best man win. And he, no one wants to see it, but he said he wanted to get out on his shield. I can't keep saying it, but that's exactly what he did. So I'm just pleased that it's put to bed now.
I don't know how much of the corner work you heard on BT Sport from both Malik Scott and Sugar Hill. Did you manage to pick anything up? It was obviously loud on the television.
Yeah, I picked up a few bits.
What did you make of Malik's corner work?
It's hard to say really because, when you hear things in the corner, you're not sure what they're... Obviously, as a coach, we're watching and thinking, this is what needs to be done. When they say something, you're trying to interpret. Do they mean that in the sense that we mean it? For example, Malik said something about when Wilder finished, Tyson would go almost instantly to try and claw that moment back. In my mind, as he did when he clipped Tyson, we thought, he means have your feet set, be ready to punch with him as Tyson steps in. But whether that's what he meant or not, of course, you don't know. Did he mean when you finish it, he's looking to go defend yourself? I don't know. And Sugar Hill mentioned something about obviously talking about the jab, but obviously reasons for what we think he may have been asking the jab for to what he was asking the jab for, it may be different. So, it's easy to criticise coaches or to give them credit, when realistically it's terminology, linguistics, timing. The fighter may understand what the coach wants from something that sounds simple that other people may not know what it means,
I haven't watched the fight back, but it seemed like really Tyson, as the fight was going on, was getting better. I know obviously Wilder was tiring as well, but it seems like he was looking sharper. His feints were better as the fight was going on for Tyson. Did you read it like that as well, Ben?
I don't think it was Tyson's best performance by far, if I'm honest. And I think Tyson said that himself. I know that he's had a while out of the ring and that. Something that you mentioned there, his feints, that there was almost non-existent in big parts of the fight. And there's a way to... We were talking about it yesterday, about the way Tyson steps to and puts Wilder under pressure. In moments last night, it was not reckless, but just uneducated in the way he did it, putting his hands up in a high guard and walk to him. Recipe for disaster. That's what happened when a knockdown came. It needed to be a little bit more educated, a few more feints behind it, throw Wilder's timing off. And if he let his hands go or used his feints at the right time when Wilder broke his base, it was easy. When he did do that, it was easy for him to push Wilder around the ring. I don't think, fundamentally, tactically, it was the best performance from Tyson. However, in terms of character, determination, skill, mental fortitude, all these kind of things, it was a top performance, But everybody knows it. He's got that in him. He's shown that time and time again, and that's why he's still undefeated, because he's got that. He's so versatile, as he's shown. He made adjustments throughout the fight, remained up tall, was getting clipped on the end of right hands, started getting underneath the right hands, which allowed him to then get close and then fight inside with Deontay Wilder, where he was dominating. So like I say, he's just where he's so versatile and he can make the adjustments. I don't think it was his best performance, but it was, in terms of character, it was just everything really. The whole comeback to really top it off. Like, I know the in the rematch, that was his best performance by far. Really put it to bed. However, with all the things that were said, you know, both men really brought it, and it did get put to bed last night. And like I say, we can sit here and say this was good, that was good. All I wish for is that both men have left the ring safe with their health intact, and that hopefully, you know, they can get along in the end.
Yeah,
which I'm sure they will.
I know you said it wasn't his best performance. He said that as well, but you've always banged on about his mental strength. Obviously, you're going on about that story where I think you started going on a run and you just thought he's not going to make it to the top, and he made it to the top of the mountain. And he showed that, you know, I think 99% of heavyweights to beat Wilder, they have to be at their A game, their best, and he's done it without being that. It's just his kind of will and character that's got him through.
That's right. Sometimes a lie can become the truth. And I think when Brendan Ingle said to beat Tyson Fury, you have to nail him to the canvas, Tyson's always repeated that and stuck with that. And, you know, he's believed that himself. And like I say, a lie can become the truth. So I believe that he firmly believes that, and that seems to be the case.
Just to close off then, Ben, obviously we all saw your post straight after the fight about you want to see these two guys become friends one day because they've given us an amazing experience over this trilogy. Obviously, Tyson went over to his corner and tried to pay his respect. It wasn't reciprocated by Wilder. Was that just a bit sad to see?
Look, I've said it about 3 or 4 times while talking to you here, because it means a lot to me, because I'll tell you for why. Not many people, but people watch him get in the ring and you know, enjoy this great scrap, this great trilogy, but most people can't comprehend what they actually go through. So in that moment in time, Deontay Wilder's given everything, pushed his body, his mind, his soul to the limit, absolute limit, against this man time and time again. He got beat. Very, very, very hard pill to swallow, I'm sure, because he fully would have believed in himself, and he gave absolutely everything. Bearing in mind, typical punch is ignorance. So he probably has that little bit of, no, I can't be beat. And it will take a little while for him to process it. However, you know, what's happened has happened. What happened after the fight happened. But I'm sure, given time, you know, it was immediate. He'd just been knocked out. So naturally, he's not going to be in 100% frame of mind. He's not going to have had the time to process everything that's just happened. And like I say, most people can't comprehend what these warriors put themselves through. And it may take a little while, but I really, really do hope, because they have defined each other's careers. This trilogy, no matter what goes on from now on, that trilogy's defined each man's careers. What they showed throughout the trilogy, throughout all 3 fights, moments in those fights, moments of Tyson Fury's career that will last, that knockdown in the 12th round, that will last for generations upon generations. And Wilder has a part to play in that. And the comeback for Wilder to, whether Wilder thought, oh, I'm going to give Tyson the opportunity because he's not ready, first of all, whatever you want to say about that, Wilder, you know, they done business. They were willing to do business, was able to do business, which gave Tyson the opportunity to get to where he's got to now. They made each other superstars. Before the fight, before the first fight, Wilder wasn't overly known in the UK, and vice versa. Tyson wasn't overly known in the US. But they made each other big names across the Atlantic, made each other millions upon millions of pounds, which would go down in generations to their families. And they owe that to each other, no matter what anybody says. Of course, promoters, broadcasters, fans buying it, all of these kind of things. But if each man didn't bring their end of the bargain and wasn't able to perform and match up so well, sell the fight so well, and do all these kind of things, then, you know, they wouldn't be where they are in their life. So, yeah, all the shit that's gone on, it is what it is. But it does mean a lot to me for them at one point to be able to put it all to bed and get along. It'd be nice to see.
Yeah, well put. I think everyone watching this will agree with that. It all started in Belfast, didn't it, when Billy Joe threw a chicken at Deontay?
You know what it is? It goes back beyond that, though. I know that they used to talk, they used to message each other, even going into the first fight. You know, there was talk of other fights coming up. Tyson was, you know, other people was maybe talking to Tyson, trying to stop Tyson from getting that fight, and vice versa. People trying to talk to Deontay to stop Tyson getting that fight because they didn't want each other them two doing business together, and obviously blocking out Joshua at the time. And they were speaking with each other and was like, look, I'm a man, you're a man. Contracts might not be done, but you've got my word. And they held each other to each other's words, even when contracts weren't done at the time. All these kind of things that people don't see and don't know about. You know, and even throughout the first build-up, to give each other, you know, they did give each other an opportunity. Deontay gave Tyson an opportunity for a world title shot. Tyson gave Deontay an opportunity to fight a big name, make himself a big name as well. And, you know, at the end of the trilogy, Tyson Fury come out on top. It is what it is. At the end of the day, they laid everything on the line, and this is sport. So, but I know even before that, I think it was 2013. They was in Sheffield together, trying to talk up and build up a fight. So, you know, what they've done for each other has been amazing. At the end of the day, they've been successful business partners. Realistically, that's the truth of it. But they just had to go through hell and back to do the business together. So, yeah, I might be banging on about it, but it does mean a lot. You know, it would mean a lot to me.
Well, it's certainly been a fun watch, and I know you don't like to give yourself credit, but you obviously, anyone in the sport knows you played a massive part ahead of that first fight and just getting Tyson back in the ring. So yeah,
loads of people played a part.
Loads of people. But you have to give yourself credit as well, surely.
Yeah, I just don't look at it like that, you know, because I just think that look, so many people have played a part through his career for him to be where he's got to. Amateur coaches, family, other coaches along the way. Sugar Hill now, Andy Lee as well, even though he wasn't able to be there last night. Support team, you know, Christian, Tim, all these kind of guys, you know, everybody's played a big part. Friends as well, especially along the way of the comeback. So many people have played a part. So yeah, it was a special journey, and you know, Tyson's only still on the up, in my opinion.
Ben, appreciate your time and thoughts on last night. And as I said yesterday, I'm sure we'll speak soon. I'm sure it won't be tomorrow, but we'll get a catch up soon. All right. Thanks, Ben.
All right, mate.
Nice one.